My name's Rebecca Meddings and I am the co-franchisee for the Bournemouth and Southampton area, and I run this with my husband Craig.
The reason we liked the Very Smart franchise is because they seem to be leading the way with technology. We'd been in rented accommodation up until 5 years ago, so we'd seen a whole variety of different inventories, which could be anything from a double-sided bit of paper with just a few fixtures and fittings on it, to a video inventory where someone was just filming it on a phone, actually dropped their phone during the thing, but still sent that through to us. And then on our last tenancy we had before we became property owners, it was actually a Very Smart inventory. And at first you look at it and think, wow, this is in depth, but then once you're in the business, you really see the value of that to the tenant, the agent, and to a landlord. We had a slightly less conventional way into Very Smart than most new franchisees. My wife had already started working for the company for Anne Evans, who was the licensee at the time.
So originally I was a florist, and then I took a step back from floristry and I saw an advert for inventory clerk. So I worked as an actual inventory clerk for a year before becoming a franchisee.
Anne Evans, she was looking to take a step back from the everyday work that's involved being a franchisee. I was in employment at the time, Rebecca was already self-employed. We were looking for something that we could potentially do together, and she sold off her area in 3 parts, one of which was offered to us, which was the Bournemouth area, and that's where we started.
We did our due diligence with looking for different franchise options, and Very Smart, because I was working for them at the time, just seemed a really good option. Also, I'd seen the growth potential working for Anne Evans and for Very Smart within that year that I was an inventory clerk. So yeah, so it just seemed natural. I had a few fears about becoming a franchisee for Very Smart. It seemed a lot more real because at the time I was only a sole trader for my floristry business, so it seemed a lot more serious. The long-term game was to bring Craig out of employment as well, so we needed to build the business up, you know, in order for him to join at some point in the future. I think the massive support that we had from head office alleviated a lot of the fears. We were supported at every step of the way, so if there was something that we weren't sure on, or you know, if we were lacking a skill within a certain area, there was people within head office, but even other franchisees that would help.
When we started our franchisee with Very Smart, we were offered sales training immediately from Anne Evans, who was the licensee that we were purchasing from. Head office put us on a training program which involved learning how to undertake all inspection reports and the compliance services that were available at the time. We were also put on the business development course, which was being run by Anne, which was in order to help us grow our business. It was homed directly at that part of the industry.
I think sales we were really struggling with because both of us hadn't really done sales, and it was completely different to the floristry business in the approach as well. So we had full support from head office. They came out and did some sales days with us. We got some really good literature to give to the agents as well. The calendar system that we use is brilliant. It has everything there that you need to run your day, your business, your clerks. You know, all the work runs through the calendar, your report system as well.
Our franchise started out with 2 or 3 customers that got us going with a small bit of turnover. Really, it was just enough to keep Rebecca ticking over and have a little bit of money coming in to cover costs. After a few sales days, we picked up 2 big customers, and that snowballed into 4 customers within the first few months. Within a year, the business had grown enough for me to leave my full-time employment and join the company, and also to accommodate 2 clerks that we took on a part-time basis. In our second year, we doubled turnover again and took on a 3rd clerk, and as we're entering our 4th year, we've now taken on 2 more clerks and doubled turnover for the 3rd consecutive year. Yeah, so I think franchisees, the ones I've met anyway that come through with Very Smart, they look at the business in 2 possible avenues. You have the licensee that will start off doing every single job that they can in order to retain all the money for themselves and their business, whilst they grow, or you have the franchisee that would like to get people in to send them out and do as many jobs as possible and make a commission off the top. We chose the first route, so for the first sort of 2 to 3 years we did as many jobs as possible, and although we still needed to take on part-time staff to accommodate the busy and peak times, we tried to retain as much business within the business to help us grow.
Over the next couple of years, we will be concentrating on the Southampton area. Bournemouth is doing really well. We have good solid relationships here. We've also got a few other agents that we'd like to approach.
We're looking to try and pick up a few more big clients in the Bournemouth area, but our main plans now are for expansion into Southampton. My favourite part of being a franchisee is the flexibility. Although I may not say that during peak periods when we're working 18-hour days. You have the option whether you're going to, once you've built a team, whether you're going to take on 5 jobs in a day or do 2 jobs in a day. So you have that flexibility to control your time a lot better than when you're committed to a 9-to-5 job and you're there, 5 days a week. Also, Very Smart has given us the opportunity to have a better standard of living in terms of our financial gain. We've gone from rented property to owning property. We've gone from being able to have a weekend away to a few weeks holiday a year. It's been very beneficial for us.
I think my favourite part is the variety of work. I just love that you turn up at a property, you just don't know what you're going to get, what you're going to walk into. And I think the variety of work suits me because I'm quite creative, so I have other avenues that I want to explore outside of the business as well, so it gives you the flexibility to do that. But I think ultimately the variety of work.
I believe that Very Smart are the market leaders in terms of the product they deliver. Like I said, we have been in rented accommodation for many years and we've seen different inventories and seen things that would never stand up under the scrutiny of arbitration. What Very Smart delivers has worked time and time again. And that's why it continues to grow and that's why it's successful.